What type of agency do you run?
Cold email and LinkedIn outreach
For who specifically?
for PR agencies.
And how much do you guys do in a month in revenue?
Just about.
And you're 20 years old.
Yeah.
That's cool.
When I turned around like 14, I was like, let me go try to get clients now. Like, I'm the best copywriter on the planet. Did that for 6 months, realized that I suck. And I'm like, I should probably go work under someone. Created a list of like 100 people I wanted to work with. Cold called them every single week until they said yes or no.
Sure.
I think through that, I got connected with our good friend Konain. Just by being around you guys, the number one thing I picked up, you take the agency a lot more seriously compared to like other people.
What was that first close?
4.5K a month with a 3% rev share.
Most people like first deal is like $500, $600 a month. That's a great first deal.
The way to win this game, it's not how many clients you can acquire, it's how long you can keep them. There's about 60,000 agencies. People get bombarded by these messages. I'll book you 40 calls a month, 50, 60, 70, like, oh, this is bullshit. A great way to stand out is just work with a very...
Samir, welcome.
Thank you.
Second time in Dubai. I think it's always a pleasure to have you in Dubai. I think you've got a pretty damn interesting story being a 20-year-old from where you're at right now. So I want to give people context on where you currently are for a minute, and then we'll reverse back and talk about your story and how you got there, because I think there's a lot of interesting points you've went through. So you run an agency. What type of agency do you run?
We do cold email and LinkedIn outreach.
For who specifically?
For PR agencies.
PR agencies. And how much do you guys do in a month in revenue?
Right now, we're doing just about 50.
50K. And you're 20 years old.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. So we can dive into what's working for you in a minute here, but let's loop back. Talk to me. How did you get into entrepreneurship in the first place? Because there's lots of 20-year-olds that probably just playing video games, doing nothing, but you're here, 20 years old, making a little bit shy of 50K a month, running an agency, online business, which is great. Talk to me. How did you get started?
Yeah, so I kind of got into the space around like 13 is kind of when I got introed. I used to get like these Alex Becker ad, Ty Lopez, like back in the day on like drop shipping and how you can make a ton of money there. So I kind of got introduced just through like the e-com world. So I got into that, started a store. I think Alex Becker's program was like 50 grand. I was like, screw that, I'm not paying it. Let me go try to start this on my own and like watch a couple YouTube videos. So I start the store. We start selling like yoga pants. I'm like, this is good. Cause that's what all the YouTube videos were telling me. I was like, all right, let's rock and roll. My ad budget was like $100 a year that I borrowed from my mom. And I took like a bunch of money that I got from like selling energy drinks in school and just like put it into like the $30 a month Shopify subscription. Months go by, that business completely fails. But through that, like I remember one time in the drop shipping journey, like I was making no money because I was spending like $1 a day on ads. And I was like, why am I not a millionaire yet? Like this sucks. So I went to like this Facebook group. I was like, can someone please help me? Like I suck at this. So like a bunch of people connect me. I get on a sales call with this guy. It's him and it's his partner that he's training up. And like, he's basically trying to sell me something for like, I think it was like $300. And I'm like, dude, I don't have the money. Like he was some marketing consultant. But through that guy, like I got like on that call was this partner. And I think he did like, I don't know, like 10 million in direct response or something. He was like, dude, how old are you? I'm like, I'm 13. He's like, there's no way. He's like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, I just want to make money. He's like, dude, let me take you under my wing. So I was like, okay, great. So I kind of got started through that. Like I went under that guy's wing. He gave me a bunch of like homework assignments. It was kind of on and off coaching, learning like copywriting and all of that.
Who was that guy?
His name is Michael Clendenin.
Okay.
Very undercover. I think he still gets clients through direct mail. Like that's how old school he is. And he's like 20. I think he just turned 30. He sent me a picture of him by the pool and he's like typing on like a little typewriter, like instead of like a let's like so like boomer.
Okay.
But no, so I got like worked with him on and off from like 13 to 15. I was like gaming 12 hours a day, so I wasn't like really trying.
Sure.
When I turned around like 14, I was like, let me go try to get clients now. Like I'm the best copywriter on the planet. I wrote like 2 example ads, whatever. Did that for 6 months, realized that I suck. And I'm like, I should probably go work under someone and like learn this agency game before I try to like learn it all by myself. Created a list of like 100 people I wanted to work with, cold called them 100 literally every single week until they said yes or no.
Sure.
Which I think through that I got connected with our good friend Konain, who decided to mentor me from there. So I worked at his company as an appointment setter till I was 18, then started the agency, and then I kind of took off from there.
I know Konain. Konain's a great friend. He's an absolute killer. Worked with some of the best in the industry.
Yeah.
What do you think it was that Konain perhaps saw in you that decided to take a stab at bringing you on as a,
Yeah.
young intern coming on to a company? What do you think he saw in you?
I think it was just drive. So like I like through my journey, I've like coached other kids like my age, right,
Mhm.
who wanted to get into entrepreneurship, but they're just so flippin' lazy. Like I'll like have them do something. I'll be like, go send 10 outreach messages. They're like, dude, it's too hard. Like it's like, can I have an AI do it? Or they just don't take any action.
Sure.
Versus with like Konain, I called him the first time he rejected me. Then I sent him a cold email and I called him again. And I just kept calling him until he said yes or no. And I'm like, dude, like you have to do this. And he's like, okay, like this kid has initiative.
Hmm.
Like let me go in. And he gave me a shot. And then from there, I just executed at an extreme level.
Where did that initiative come from? That hustle? Why do you feel like you've got that over other people that were your
I
age?
honestly don't 100% know.
Mm.
Like I mean, just from like an early age, I've never wanted to do like traditional path, like school,
Mhm.
college, all of that. My grades were also horrible. So
Sure.
it's like I'm not gonna like what am I gonna do? What am I gonna go to college? Like I'm not even gonna get in anywhere.
Mhm.
So like I have to make this work. Otherwise, like what am I gonna do?
Are your parents on the traditional path?
Yeah,
Yeah. You make more than your parents now?
yeah, way more.
How does that feel?
Feels cool.
That's cool. You live with them still?
Yeah.
That's amazing. 50K a month agency, make more than your parents. How has that relationship changed then to have grown so quickly to outgrow your parents that fast?
They still bully me a little bit. So like my dad will go up to me. He's like, dude, why don't you have like 10 million in your bank account yet? I'm like, dude, where were you at in your 20s? And
Okay.
he's like, no, it's different. I'm
They're
like,
driving you still then. They're
big
pushing you.
time.
That's
Yeah.
great.
I never hear the end of it. So
That's great.
yeah.
Okay, so you worked for Konain. You said you were an appointment setter until you were 18,
Hmm.
if I heard that right.
Yeah.
And then what did you do after you were 18 with him?
No, so I was doing like cold email and LinkedIn outreach for him. So like
Got it.
we kind of went from like for the first 2 years I did like Facebook DMs,
Mm-hmm.
I was making like 100 to 200 bucks a month in commission. It was so bad.
Okay.
And then from there I kind of got into the whole cold email LinkedIn outreach space.
Mm-hmm.
Like took the last I don't know $1,000 I had and put it into like a little coaching program so I could make more money with him.
Mm-hmm.
So then I learned that skill. And then from there we started doing really good. So like when we launched cold email, I think the first day we booked 5 calls.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like 5 calls, 3 calls, 4 calls, like day after day after day. And I started posting all my results like just on Facebook. On like, hey, like look what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
Around April, I landed like I had someone reach out to me. He's like, hey Smear, can you do my cold email too?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, like that's cool. So like I hop on a call with him, end up closing him, and like that was kind of like the birth of Verma Media. Like I tripled my income, like just working, just like signing one
What was
client.
that first close? How much was that first close?
4.5K a month with a 3% rev share.
That's a great first deal.
Yeah, I was
Most
like
people
freaking
like
out.
first deal is like $500, $600 a month.
Yeah,
What made you decide to feel like you could charge $4,000 for your first client?
that was influence from Konain. So like for the 2 years I'd been working with him, I just learned the A to Z on how to run an
Mhm.
agency. I learned how to set appointments. I learned how the sales process worked because like while he was taking calls, I'd be on the side like watching him. And around that time, he'd also thrown me into like some sales coaching programs that I was learning from.
Mm-hmm.
Even like operations, like I saw the great things he did, I saw the mistakes he made, I saw he fulfill the service, deliver with the client. One thing he told me, like one thing he kind of got in my head was like he told me like you need to charge high.
Mm-hmm.
Like you cannot be all these other agencies that just do like a bunch of cheap labor for like
Right.
nothing. So I like a lot of that influence came from him. 4,500, that specific price point I got, because 4,500 sounds a lot more digestible than 5K,
Mm-hmm.
which is another little tactic he taught me.
Sure. Little psychology thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So it sounds like if I'm hearing you right, you put a lot of emphasis and granted a lot of value into some sort of mentorship, where it's being under someone's wing, being humble enough to know I don't know everything yet.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna sit and learn and absorb like a sponge, and then when you're ready to, open your own wings and jump off the branch, so to speak,
Yeah.
you were ready. What made you feel like you were ready to make that jump? Because some people might say, oh, I'm going to work for this person and learn for a month, then I'll do my own thing. Or some people might not even want to do that. They might just go to do it themselves. You spent maybe a significant amount of
Mm.
time learning, absorbing. Why did it get to like that point where you decided to make that jump? Why not earlier? Why not later?
Paranoia. I didn't want to jump in and fail. So I was like, how can I make it so unreasonable that like I want to put in so much effort here and I want to learn so much here to the point where when I do go out on my own, there's absolutely zero failure.
Hmm.
That's kind of the approach I took. So like every 12 months, like I think about quitting and I would just reevaluate. I'm like, okay, if I went out on my own, like, and I'd kind of like simulate what would occur.
Hmm.
And then I'd immediately find bottlenecks. And then the next question from there is like, can I just solve these bottlenecks here or can you not teach me these?
Sure.
And then from there, I'd
What do you feel like was the most important skill set that you learned through being under someone's wing, taking the mentorships?
problem solving. Like very like I feel like not a lot of agency owners have figure it the hell out ability.
Hmm.
Like they rely too much on mentors and coaches and like they're just like even at the event we were at, like I was speaking with agencies way bigger than me.
Hmm.
And they're like, dude, I haven't done anything for the last 12 months because I have no idea what to do. And I'm like, dude, you could just sit down for like 8 hours and like figure that out.
Yeah.
Like that makes no sense. So I would say like that was like the number one skill. Now, like working with him, I lacked that. I remember one time like I was like just bombarding him with questions all day. Like he was basically doing my job for me. And he's like, dude, you gotta stop being a follower. Like, what the hell are you doing here?
Hmm.
So like from there, like I was just like, okay, I'm gonna ask this guy, like I'll still ask him for help, but I'm gonna do something first, see the results, and then ask for help if I need it, rather than just always being like, dude, what do I
Yeah. I mean, I think that goes back to what you had originally was just like actually just doing the thing you need to
Yeah.
do, cold calling the people, doing it. Do you feel like you're a salesperson? Do you feel like naturally you're a salesperson?
Yeah.
You think so? You think that was built from taking that action, doing those calls, and getting over that uncomfortableness?
Yeah, I was horrible at sales calls initially. You remember how shy I was like 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I've always been very introverted and just through like going through the reps and investing in the coaching, like I got over it.
I'm definitely a big believer that sales is probably the most character development you can have in any type of role because it forces you to get good communicating with people. It forces you to take that rejection. And honestly, the earlier you've done that, the better because now you're moving. And you said you've invested in a lot of coaches, mentors, stuff like that. Was that for sales specifically as well? You did?
Oh yeah.
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 What was that process like?
Yeah, no. So I invested like like especially starting or like I'd say towards the end of working with Konain and then starting to get into my own agency, like I wanted to take over calls with him.
Mm,
My philosophy working under someone was like, dude, let me just take off as much from your plate as possible because like the more I involve myself in the agency, the more I'm gonna learn a lot quicker.
mm-hmm.
So like I was like being thrown like I invested in like group coaching programs, one-on-one programs, I'd like illegally download sales courses too.
Sure.
And just like at night, so like I would go to so around this time I was in school as well. So like I'd go to school from like 7 a.m. all the way up to like 3 o'clock. I'd get home at 3. From 3 to 4, I'd like eat and watch my YouTube, Netflix, whatever, right?
Mm.
Chill out. And then from 4 to like 11, 12 o'clock, I would just work. And then towards the end of the day, I would just be studying and taking notes and then
That's
implementing.
crazy. I didn't even take into account that you were obviously that young, that you were still in school
Yeah.
managing that. Did school feel useless at that point?
Yeah, I think my GPA was like a 2.2
Right.
because of that. Yeah,
Okay.
it was bad.
Were your parents trying to force you to stay in school?
Yeah, I wanted to drop out like every 6 months.
So you 18, you went off on your own, you landed your first client, which is a great big client
Yeah.
for your first time round. You learned a lot of skill to implement in your own business. So Verma Media?
Yeah.
Verma Media.
Media.
So took you 2 years to get to about 50K a month.
I think we're like barely a year and a half in.
A year and a half in.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay. So pretty life changing then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Just some money. Just some money, just living a good life.
I haven't felt much of a difference, which is kind of funny. Like I definitely have more money, and I can do a lot more, but
Mhm.
like I guess it's because of the environments I'm in. Like I just don't like I don't really feel much.
When you go to agency founders and other events and you're like,
Yeah, dude, it's like these guys are doing like 300 grand a month in net. I'm like what? Like I need to bump it up.
yeah, it is tough. You go to these events and someone is doing 3, 4, 5, 10 times your amount. You're like, okay, I am still broke. I
Yeah,
still
exactly.
got stuff to learn.
Yeah.
So talk to me about your agency then in particular. You learned all these skill sets and you're like, okay, now I'm ready to go and apply them.
Yeah.
You decided to go into PR agencies, right? Why pick PR agencies?
Yeah, so like I feel like too many agencies right now are very generalist.
Mm-hmm.
So like I think in agency founders they were saying there's about 60,000 agencies within the United States right now.
Mm-hmm.
And with cold outreach agencies specifically, like people get bombarded by these messages where it's like, I'll book you 40 calls a month, 50, 60, 70, like all this bullshit.
Sure.
I think if you do not specialize yourself as an agency right now, you're going to get absolutely demolished because right now there's already too many agencies in the market. It is way too easy to put up ads and send 1,000 emails a day.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, there's more agencies joining every day just from like all these coaching programs, like pushing people to start agencies.
Mm-hmm.
So like I knew that. I actually learned this from my early mentor, Michael, where it's like a great way to stand out is just work with a very underserved niche. And I think you kind of did something similar with painting as well.
For sure.
And I saw that case study. I was like, oh, great. Like, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, what we did is we worked with a bunch of different client types first, right? So, we worked with like ghostwriting agencies, we worked with PR agencies, we worked with e-com agencies. I took on like a logistics company. Dude, I even promoted a dating coach on LinkedIn outreach.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
We didn't go down that path.
that did not work at all. It was
For sure.
horrible. So I worked with all these different types of clients, and I found that like with PR specifically, one, they're a little underserved. There's not a lot of agencies that are in that space, and the big one actually asked me if I could acquire them, which was kind of funny. The second one was like with PR, like I can get them results extremely quickly. So like with right now with our clients, like by the time we launch, like they're going to get leads within 24 to 48 hours. So like we
Mhm.
just launched 2 clients just recently. Within the first week, they're booking like 1 to 2 meetings a day.
Mhm.
So like it works really quickly and I can get them results quickly. I'd say the third one is they pay us the most money. Fourth one is I really like working with them. Like we've met some very interesting people that are in the PR space that have worked with
Mm.
like celebrities and politicians, and I'm kind of like into that space. So I would say that's kind of why we,
And this is cold email and LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there one you push harder at the start than others? Is there one that can get traction quicker?
it depends. So it depends on the PR agency. So there's going to be 2 types. There's the PR firms that are very industry agnostic and their market, or at least like their markets are pretty big. So like they want to maybe go after like the entirety of tech, or they want to work with like a lot of healthcare companies,
Mhm.
etc. So within their case, like we'd probably want to do cold email, especially if they want to book like 20, 30, 40, 50 plus meetings a month. Like, okay, like we need very high volume outreach where we can send 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 a day. Let's go do cold email.
Mhm.
The second type of PR firm are people that are a little bit more niched. So I'm trying to think of like an exact example, but like let's say you want to work only with like med tech companies. Like there's not a lot of them within the United States,
Right.
and you probably only need like, well, the max amount of meetings you're going to probably book is like 10 a month.
Mhm.
Right. And a lot of these guys, because they're specialized, will charge like 8, 10, 15K a month retainers with 3, 6, 12-month commitments. So you don't need like a million calls to make a lot of money.
Mhm.
In that case, we do LinkedIn outreach because like with LinkedIn, we're like manually going after people versus like running it through like an automation or
Got
anything.
it.
Yeah.
So there's obviously, like you said, there was like 64,000 agencies in
Mhm.
the US. There's obviously still lots of options, and I'm sure there's people that still serve PR agencies. There's
Yeah.
cold email companies, there's LinkedIn companies. What specifically makes you good at what you guys do in your system actually work compared to picking anybody to go with?
This is gonna sound funny, but we actually kind of care. I feel like a lot of agencies in our space are just looking for cash grabs. I don't think they realize that like the way to win this game, especially if you operate in a small market like PR firms, it's not how many clients you can acquire, it's how long you can keep them.
Yeah.
Which is a lesson I learned the hard way early on. Because like before, we were just 100% focused on just acquiring clients, and then I realized that like, oh, we could scale a lot quicker if we just focus on retaining the ones we have. So I think like most people, like one, they don't really care about their clients. Two, I think they jump into the agency space way too quickly. Like
Mhm.
I worked under an agency for a couple years before I started this, versus there's kids right now just like starting agencies just out of thin air.
Sure.
I'd say like those are the 2 things, and then 3, like we've booked 1,500 meetings for PR firms over the last 12 months.
Mhm.
I have recordings to a lot of those. I've fed some of those recordings into AI platforms. I have a ton of data around what works and what doesn't in PR right now. I've gone on the phone with PR firms that have been in business for like 20, 30, 40 years, and they're like shocked at my knowledge.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I've only been in this for a year.
It sounds like it's a mixture of 3 things, and it's that you obviously care and actually want results.
Yeah.
That you actually have experience, like you said, you built up previous experience, being able to sell, being able to do copywriting, being able to build systems. So you're not the 20-year-old doing it for the first time.
Yeah.
You're the 20-year-old doing it for the 100th, 200th,
Oh, yeah.
300th time.
Yeah.
So you care, you've got experience, and then you've actually now got the data. And it's like there's a lot of businesses where it's not the best business that wins, it's the one that has the most data because that can guide the decisions.
Mm-hmm.
So now it sounds like you've got a little bit of everything to be
Yeah.
unstoppable, which is why you're at the point you're at right now. You said one of the key things here is to keep your clients, right? Part of that
Yeah.
is caring, but is there anything else you've implemented in particular on the agency side to help with
Yeah.
retention?
So there's a
Right.
couple levers we pulled. Number one, we started doing 3-month commitments.
Mhm.
Before we used to do a lot of month to month, and even though I'd say like, hey, this is a 3-month process, it would attract a lot of people that like would try it for a month, and if they don't make $1 million, they'd quit.
Mhm.
Because the thing with PR is like, okay, so one, a lot of the clients we work with have relied on word of mouth and referrals for the last decade. Like, if you expect me to solve that problem in 30 days, like your client acquisition problem that you've struggled with for the last 10 years, you're like insane.
Mm.
So like that was like the first thing. And then like the second thing is like with PR, like the sales cycle can be 90 days long, if not more. Sometimes it's 30, 60, but most of the time 90. So I'm like, we need 3-month commitments. Otherwise, like people are going to churn before things even get good.
Mhm.
So like the first thing we implemented was having a 3-month commitment. So it immediately filtered out anyone that was short term and it just attracted any long term clients. That was the first one, which you made me do. The second one was weekly reports. So like all of our clients right now get reports on a weekly basis, and it's very transparent. We're showing all the numbers and we're not hiding anything. And then below that is a breakdown of like what went well, what went wrong, and then like what are our next moves for next week. That was the second one. Third one was being more of a strategic advisor to a lot of these PR firms. Because we have so much data, I can actually advise these people on things even outside of client acquisition. So, like current market conditions, parts of their fulfillment, how they can scale their agency long term, operations. Just because I'm seeing a lot of PR agencies from like beginners all the way to like high tier ones, like I can give a lot of strategic advice outside of client acquisition that kind of positions us a little differently. Like we have a client right now where she's like, "Hey, like we're booking a lot of meetings, but if you guys were only doing cold email for me, like I don't know if I'd 100% stick around."
Interesting. So you
Yeah.
come on as like a little bit of a consultant as well, just to help
Yeah.
guide. When you switched to you went from monthly and then you switched to doing 3-month commitments,
hmm
do you feel like that affected your sales process at all? Do you feel like that affected your closing?
I wouldn't say much.
No.
I'd say all the people that we never like, we did have a little bit of fall off. So like anyone that we don't want to work with definitely got filtered out.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone that was short term, but like all the people that we really want to work with, like we just attracted more of them.
Yeah.
But I didn't notice much of a like too much of a drop off, to be honest.
But I think it's like you said, when you position yourself as the expert, you can't position yourself as the expert and then come in and say, hey, try us for 30 days.
No way.
Because,
Yeah.
like you said, everybody understands business is a long term thing. So, I think what also happens when you do that is when you mention the 3 months, it makes the qualified people even more interested because they're like, oh, this is more legitimate. It's more
Yeah.
serious. It's not just a test. Did you collect PIFs, pay in fulls for that, or did you just go for monthlies?
Just month to month.
Just
Yeah.
monthlies. Is there any reason you didn't do pay in fulls?
I have to ask for it.
You just haven't asked for it yet?
Yeah.
Okay, we need to push you to do that then,
Okay.
for sure. If you ask for more money, you're going to get more money.
Yeah.
Have you thought about going longer from 3 to 12 or 3 to 6?
I'm going to. Like we're thinking of moving to at least 4 months for now. Like just so we have like even more extra runway. And
Yep.
then anyone in the 3 months, we're just upselling them to 6 to 12.
Nice.
Yeah.
And have you done the upselling for the 6 and 12 yet, or is that the plan?
Still have to. A lot of the weekly report strategic advisor stuff we implemented very early, which made our retention really, really good.
Mm.
We just recently started really implementing like the 3-month stuff. So I need more data on it.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
And obviously, every single agency owner says we, even if it's them by themselves, or if they have 100 team
Mhm.
members. What does your team look like? How many guys do you have working with you?
We're at 5 people, including me.
Okay. And what is that? Talk to me about how that team structure is, how it's broken up.
Yeah, so we have one guy that manages all of our fulfillment. We have 2 people that are basically like setters, and then one like so our clients get like hundreds of positive responses every month. So like
Mm.
we need someone going in, replying to those people and converting them into calls. So those 2 are responsible for that, and then one of them assists the head of fulfillment in case he needs anything, like admin things, etc. And then we have like another guy that just manages email inboxes because we have like thousands of email accounts we're managing right now,
Sure.
and like his goal is just to make sure those do not burn out at all.
Okay. And how many clients do you have?
We're working with about 15 to 16 very closely.
Okay.
Yeah.
At what point do you feel like you're going to need, you said you've got like a head of fulfillment. At what point are you going to need extra people for the fulfillment? Like, how far can you go before you need to hire more people?
So I was doing projections on this beginning of year. We can honestly close to double without hiring a single person.
Really
So I would say right now we're in more of like a margin compression than anything.
interesting.
Yeah.
Have you got the game plan on what you're doing to double?
Yeah.
What's that?
So right now it's removing myself from a lot of the delivery. So like there's a couple things we're working on right now. So like as of this time, my head of fulfillment got a little sick. He got hit with like a little health scare.
Mm.
So like I've been kind of thrown a little bit more into it. But during this process, we're currently training up one of the setters to kind of like help him with admin ability, like admin things, like while he's kind of getting out of it. He's expected to heal by March. By that time, like I think he's gonna be him and her, like they're gonna crush it. Because
Mhm.
even right now, I think he's outperforming basically everyone, despite having a pretty bad disease,
Right.
which is like
That's
insane.
crazy.
I was like, holy crap. So like right now, core focus, I'd say over the next month or two is just to get myself out of fulfillment as much as possible.
Mhm.
The second thing is I want all of my time going towards just sales. Specifically cold outreach has worked the best for us and our
Mhm.
clients. Just because like even this month, like I think I spent 2 hours on client acquisition and we kind of blew up.
Sure.
I
Okay.
was like, okay, like I need to do more of that.
Okay. So you
Eh,
spent 2 hours doing your own client acquisition and it worked.
yeah, very well.
Why? What particular worked?
So we reached out to all leads from the last year that we may have sent messages to but never replied. So we
Mhm.
sent them a reactivation message and that brought me like 30 leads right away.
Mm.
And then my setter went in and converted them into meetings. And then we ran another LinkedIn campaign on another account going after more people in our industry. And then that's bringing in meetings. And then I just posted a little bit of content. That's literally, and then I just reached out to some people from previous months. That's all I did.
How do you build the trust enough then? Because there's going to be some people listening to this that think cold outreach, whether it's cold calls, cold emails, whatever it is, you're reaching out to someone who doesn't know who you are. They're just like, why do I want to work with you? What do you do specifically, or what philosophy do you have to be able to take someone from that initial outreach
Yeah.
to actually getting them interested into buying in the first place? What are the pillars here that we've got created?
So when it comes to making cold outreach work, there's going to be a couple pillars for PR firms. Number one is going to be deliverability. Like
Mm.
you need, like above all, you need to make sure that your emails are hitting the primary inbox,
Mm.
right? It's very, very simple. With LinkedIn, you don't really have to worry about it much, but I'd say deliverability is like the biggest component. Number two is going to be obviously targeting. So like we need to make sure that like after emails are landing in the inbox, we need to make sure we're even reaching out to the right people in the first place. So if you're a PR firm and you charge 8 to 15K a month retainers, we need to make sure that we're going after companies that are doing at least a couple $1 million a year bare minimum.
Sure.
And it's in their respective niche. So if they work with healthcare, it's healthcare companies. If it's like elder care, it's elder care. If it's a coach, it's a coach, etc.
Mm.
Right? Now, with the messaging, a lot of it's going to come down to the offer. I think too many PR firms, like what they don't realize is that people don't really care if you get them coverage. What they actually care about is the outcome they're going to get from that media coverage.
Mhm.
So whether that's like more funding or that's more like I worked with a guy, he helps people get PR so they can get visas approved faster. It's a
Mhm.
super unique angle. And then we have another one that like gets people featured so they can get more lawyer clients. So like you want to make sure that like your message is tailored to that specific outcome to your specific industry, and it's going to make you immediately stand out from all these like pay to play guys who are like, I'll get you in Forbes and CNBC for like $97,
Mhm.
right? And then from there, I'd say like a big component is like making sure you have very clear and quantifiable case studies in your cold emails.
Mhm.
Where like if you're going to reach out to like I'll just keep using this as an example, like a med tech company, you want to make sure that it's like, hey, I helped this other med tech company get featured in these networks and publications. As a result of the coverage, here's the exact benefit they had, whether that's like more funding, more customers, etc.
Mhm.
Right? So like if you could include those clear case studies within your email, like you should crush the messaging side. The only other element is like if you do that, like you will get positive responses really quickly. You just need to make sure that you have a good setting team that can convert 50% of those positive responses into actual booked meetings at the end of the day that are qualified.
And the setting team, are they people just DMing to set Calendly appointments?
Yeah, so like what would occur is like we'll send 1,000 emails. Out of that, we'll get like, let's say 3 to 4 positive responses.
Mhm.
And then out of those 3 to 4 positive responses, we'll convert about 2 to 3 of them, let's
Mhm.
say, into like a booked meeting. So like this will like a lot of these positive responses will be like, what's the cost? What's the process? Can I learn more?
Mhm.
And then our setters will basically go and answer those questions and push them to a call. From there, it's a matter of like booking them into a Calendly,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll send them like a VSL before the meeting that like answers all their objections about PR, so they come on pre-warmed.
So you have the PR agencies create a VSL
Yeah.
or something ahead of time? Okay. So that's like a sub-component of your service then. You script them a VSL and tell them what to
Yeah, we write
create?
that whole thing out, and then we just hand
Yeah.
it to them, and we're like, record it. We'll handle the editing, whatever it may be, and
Do you think that's maybe a small piece that actually has a lot of lift for them in the sales process?
yeah, we noticed that the call quality shift from not having a VSL to having one is like insane. Like it's
Mm.
so big. Like you literally go from people hopping on the phone and being like, "What do you do?" to being like, "Hey, I watched your case studies. I really like what you do. Like I'd love to learn more." Like the second the call starts.
Is this the same kind of process that you implement for your agency
Oh yeah,
as
hands
well?
down. Yeah.
So when you're doing cold outreach, you talk about, you said like most important thing is you talk about like the outcome,
Yeah.
of, like what they're going to get at the end. And then, so is the process the same? You cold email, you talk about the outcome,
Yeah.
you set them on the Calendly, and then once they book an appointment, then is that where the trust building starts, where it's the VSLs, the case studies, everything else?
Exactly. Yeah.
So what are you implementing in particular to get them to build trust? Like if you put energy like into your website, into like what is it that makes them trust? Because you could create a video,
Yeah.
it could be kind of a shitty video. You could create a website, but it's okay. It's like, is there any elements of this that are actually really important to make sure that when they get on the call, they're like, oh fuck, this is the guy.
For the clients, right, or for ourselves?
So for you guys,
Oh, for us?
yeah.
So, okay. So with our process, so I'll kind of break down how our cold outreach works because it crushes. I think we
Mhm.
close at like 40 to 50% to cold traffic. I don't need a million meetings to
That's
make
great.
money. So like number one, in all of our outreach messages, like I feel like too many outreach agencies right now are promising like booked calls and like we like saying like we do cold email. Like none of these agencies care. Like what they care about is like okay, like how much revenue can you actually bring me? So like a lot of our outreach messages, we immediately lean in with like how much revenue we generate other PR firms, and that like we focus on signing clients, not just like booking you meetings.
Mm-hmm.
So like from there, when leads respond with interest and we're booking them in a meeting, etc., I basically took like 15 of my own sales calls with PR firms. I threw it into Claude. I had to map out all the objections I get in order of frequency, and then I just record a VSL knocking all of them out. So like the
Interesting.
second they book a call, they're sent all those. So like I'll literally have people hop on the phone and they're like, dude, like I'm ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Because like everything's been answered. From there, so like once they're sent a lot of that, I'm posting a lot of content on LinkedIn. I've got content on Instagram. I'm posting very frequently on LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
Got a very good website too that I paid a lot of money to build out.
Mm-hmm.
So like after going through the VSL, we're finding that people are going through my LinkedIn posts where I'm speaking on like problems PR firms are having. They're going through my Instagram and like these podcast formats and seeing like how cool we are. They're going through my website and seeing like all the case studies and how professional it looks versus like all my other competitors are running these out of their dorm room and they have like shit websites.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's a key part then, is you're doing cold outreach, and on the surface of it, everyone says do cold outreach, land clients. But from what I'm understanding for you, your cold outreach isn't doing cold outreach lands clients, it's doing cold outreach gains the interest, and then you need to have all of these back end
Yeah.
marketing and sales assets for them to go through because they're going to research you, they're going to look you up. So do you feel like you would even have the same outcome if you didn't have Instagram posts, didn't have LinkedIn
No,
posts?
not at all. Now I don't think it's like 100% necessary. Like we've even had clients where like they're basically invisible online and we will print money. Like
Mhm.
it definitely occurs. But like if you want to make, so here's the thing, cold outreach, it's a very top of funnel thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's about 3 stages a person needs to go through in order to buy your service. It's going to be, well, first they need to like know who you are, so attention. Second's going to be educate. They need to know like what you've done, how good you are, etc. And the third piece is like the actual conversion part of bringing them as a
Sure.
client. Like cold outreach is really great at bringing attention, but if you don't have like the educate piece set up where like you have a good website, like you'll have good LinkedIn content, etc., which will educate a lot of our
Mhm.
clients on. Like it's just really hard to get them to that conversion part where you're
Mhm.
actually turning them into a client.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And I think, at least from what we found as well, going through the same process, is usually the best buyers are usually the ones that are also the most due diligent as well. Like it's very rare. Again, rare, it still happens. I don't know if I can talk for you on this, but I can't imagine you're the sort of person that gets an email or gets a LinkedIn message
Yeah.
and then you like click book and you're ready to buy.
Yeah.
It's like it's very spontaneous, especially if you want to spend a lot of money. But when you have these other sales assets in place, like you said, you've got the content, you've got the VSL, the people that are going to spend 5, 10, 15, 20 grand, they're going to want to do research. They're going to
Of
do some due
course, yeah.
diligence. And if you don't have that there, they're probably going to knock off. But when you
Yeah.
do, it just confirms you are the guy
Yeah.
to spend that money with.
Exactly. Yeah. Hands down.
Yeah.
Like I think right now we're agencies as a whole, we're kind of heading into like a trust economy.
Sure.
I feel like even most of the PR firms we've speak to, like they've been burned by so many agencies in the past. Like it's like I feel genuinely bad, which is why like we've really doubled down on like the trust building of like
Mm.
having a good LinkedIn, Instagram, website, just to show these people that like, hey, like we know you gotten burned, but like we're actually legit.
Mhm.
Like I feel like if you don't have those assets in place before you start marketing, like it's just gonna be a shit show. Yeah.
And if I remember right, I feel like we had this conversation where you had all these podcast clips and we spoke about you running these as even like really low budget ads
We
to
did that.
retarget it.
Yeah.
Did that work?
Oh yeah, crushed. So like we created like we have 3,500 PR firms in the US we're looking to work with,
Mhm.
and I scraped all their emails. So like while we're sending cold email and LinkedIn DMs to them, they're also getting retargeting ads with like case studies and like podcast clips like these.
Mm.
And like I will reach out to people on LinkedIn and they'll be like, dude, I've been seeing you everywhere.
That's great. So it almost becomes that the cold outreach isn't the cold outreach anymore. You're just like happily stumbling across them when they're already getting to know you.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it almost starts to become warm just from running ads on like how much you spend in a day on that.
Maybe $10.
$10 a day. So you scraped your list.
Yeah.
You're running a targeted audience to that list, guaranteed that your ads are going to hit those people. It's just a matter of them seeing it and getting in front of them.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like we don't get like a ton of meetings booked from ads specifically. It's more of like a play of like just building market leader positioning.
Mhm.
Because we know that like, okay, if we're gonna stay in this game for the next 3, 4, 5, even maybe 10 years, and these people are constantly getting ads from us within that period of time, they will eventually work with us.
Yeah, and some people take a long time. Like we've even had guys, painters that will come to us and say, I've been following you for a year, or I've known about you guys for
Yeah.
2 years. Now I want to work with you. So even the small agencies, the PR agencies that aren't big enough to work with you yet, they're going to start looking up to you as the person to go to when they are ready.
Yeah.
Through that content. So what's the goal for 2026 then? You're just shy of 50K a month. What are we looking to do by the end of the year?
We want to get to about 1 million. I'd say I want to be 90% removed from fulfillment, except just like strategic decisions, and all of my time should just be going towards sales. So I'd say 1 million a year. I'm maybe working 12 to 15 hours a week into the business. And like, because the reason for that is because I know at that point this is a very big cash asset. And at that point, like I can either continue scaling this or we're going to start like way bigger ventures. Because I don't know if I want to run a marketing agency for the rest of my life. Like I definitely want to do something bigger. I would say this is like I've had a lot of mentors tell me, they're like, dude, you're basically just a student getting paid an insane
Sure.
amount of money. This is just a learning experience for me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So you want to take it to like, so you said 1 million, that's like 83K a month. So there's not a lot more clients you need to do that then. How quickly do you think you could do that with the current systems?
Depends on how quickly I can get myself out of fulfillment. So like if we go worst case, I could probably get myself out within 90 days maximum. That's a lot of that's dependent on like my team health and like just like things I have to roll out. Like if I'm lazy, it'll take 90 days. But 90 days, it'd probably go crazy on acquisition for like 3 to 6 months. We could probably hit it maybe by like right now it's Q1. We'll probably hit it by like Q3.
Nice.
Most likely. Yeah. And then Q4 gives us a buffer.
Is there any reason you don't just start adding additional services? Because some people are like, hey, just take PR agencies, and their recommendation is once you've got your client base, like you said, do cold email, do LinkedIn, now do Facebook, now do Google, now do this. Is that your plan, or are you just going to stay sole on what you're doing?
We just started that. So we just rolled out LinkedIn content for PR firms that don't have a lot of those branding assets yet. We just signed a client for it, and she's getting like 100 likes a post. It's like something crazy, and she's already getting inquiries. So we just rolled that out. I'm thinking Facebook ads and Google. We may try that in the future. I just think I need a little bit more experience with it first.
If I'm understanding right, your process is you want to figure out how you basically increase the LTV of your clients.
Yeah.
If you can add additional services in.
Yeah.
So then there's an argument, why don't you keep doing what you're doing with your current services, and rather than the goal be 1 million, why not the goal be 150K a month or 180K a month? Why not go further with the current services?
It's just being, and now maybe you can call me out on this. I guess it's just being realistic. So like I even had a call with after this event, like I had a call with a mentor, and he's like, hey dude, like you're going to be around a lot of people. Like some of the guys that were doing like 1 million a month net.
Yeah.
And he's like, dude, you're going to feel FOMO. Like just know that like the faster things can go up, the faster they can go down.
Sure.
like it is much better to grow like just have stable growth
Mm-hmm.
over a very long period of time than just like going ham like in a year and then have it crash.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of the perspective I'm taking. Like I think very realistically we can get to 1 million, like while also ensuring that like we don't break anything and that things are very stable.
Mm-hmm.
Because like at the end of the day, like I don't want to just get like a quick cash grab. Like I want this agency to stick for a very long time and like continuously make money.
Mm-hmm.
That way we can grab the cash and fund it into bigger ventures that we could take bigger risks on.
So the biggest bottleneck is you in fulfillment. So if you are to get out of fulfillment, and you said your team, you can almost like handle almost double, that will put you at that mark that you mentioned. Once you're out and you double, because this is going to happen. Like I know you're going to fucking do this
Yeah.
regardless. You're going to remove yourself from fulfillment. You're going to double the business. So you said you're going to have maybe what, like 40 clients, perhaps 30 clients, not even
around
not even
there.
that many.
Yeah.
It's not a lot of PR agencies. That's like not a lot of clients. So like what's stopping you thinking, oh, I could tack on another 10. I could close another one a week for a couple of months.
I guess I just need to get myself out of the weeds first.
Yeah.
Like I can't, like, because I'm still stuck in a lot of the client delivery, I don't think I can see too far past where we are right now.
Okay.
I think once I remove myself, like I've had this happen all, like as I'm growing the agency, like I'll set a goal, like even like I'll set a goal and then I'll just rapidly blow past it in a very short amount of time and be like, holy shit, I could do a lot more.
I think that's what's going to
Yeah.
happen. I think you can definitely do more. And I think there's an element of being humble and having goals that like you can hit. But there's also that saying of, what is it, if you shoot for the stars, you're going to land on the moon.
Yeah.
I don't think it's unreasonable for you to start signing. If you start signing one client a week,
Yeah.
for the next few months, you are going to blow past that.
That's true.
And if you've
Yeah.
got the fulfillment dialed in, if you were to stay consistent with that, you could probably double what you're even talking about in like 6-8 months if you got sales consistent. So if you were able to do that, would you purposely cap yourself so that you can focus on other ventures? Or once you maybe recognize, I'm out of fulfillment, I've got I'm the stallion on the field, I've got the whole field to run at now. Do you feel like you would purposely pull back and cap the amount of clients the agency would have so you can focus on other ventures? Or when you get onto that open field and you've got the fulfillment team in place and you just need to sit there and run through sales, do you think you'd open it up and just go for it?
Knowing my personality, I'd probably just go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're setting slightly smaller goals than you can aim for. Like you said, there's guys like netting 1 million at these events and stuff like that. Like I'm confident with your skill set and how you are, you're definitely going to blow past your goal. And then you're going to be like, oh man, I need to build even more fulfillment, and then eventually hire a salesperson. When you get to that point where you want to do other ventures, what does that mean to you? Because some people like other ventures mean real estate or investing in other businesses. Like, what do you want to do other ventures? What does that mean? Or are you just open to opportunities that may arise?
Mostly open. Like I definitely want to get into like something tech related because you see like these things having super high multiples and like that's really where people make like serious money. I'd say more so like tech, but I think like when I get there, I'll kind of like figure it out. So like I even told myself that like when we do get to 1 million, like I basically decide like, do we just keep going? Do we stick? Like what are next moves? So like even right now, like I'm starting to get very well connected with like the software space. Like a good mentor of mine, like he was the youngest CEO of a Canon-owned company and took it from 0 to 100 million and exited. So like we meet like every week on this stuff. So and then he introduced me to his network and we're like hopping on calls with all these people every month.
Are you implementing any AI into your agency now?
Big time. Yeah.
For client delivery or for operations?
I'd say right now a lot of client delivery. So a lot of our copywriting, like what we did is we took like sales calls our clients have had with like PR clients. We uploaded into a bot along with all of our copywriting frameworks and it just helps us pump out copy. Now we still need like a human in the process to make sure it isn't like completely dog shit. But like a lot of the copywriting process we've took off. We made like vibe coded tools that help us kind of refine emails and work on the personalization bit. We just made a tool. So like we have a client within crisis comms. We made a tool that scans RSS feeds, like news sites and things like that, and finds companies that are right now having a crisis, and it scrapes the decision makers' contact info. So we're kind of playing around with it now, but that's why I think like we're going to be able to double without increasing team, just because like we can automate so much with AI now. Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people that try to use AI to do copywriting.
Yeah.
But one key thing you said there was that you have like the knowledge base and your SOPs and your processes,
Yeah.
right? This isn't a go to ChatGPT and say,
No.
write me an email for
No,
a
no, no.
PR agency.
So like even right now, like we're training the rest of our team on how to write cold email copy just because my head of fulfillment, he needs a little bit of help right
Mhm.
now. And all I'm literally like, it's not just a matter of like, hey guys, go to Claude and type in the email, right? I'm quite literally showing them copywriting principles and showing them what good and bad looks like. Because if they just rely on the AI, it's going to pump out a bunch of bullshit.
Mm.
Then they aren't going to know how to filter it. Like I think AI right now, it can only really create angles. It can't
Mhm.
really like create really good email sequences like just yet. Like sometimes we'll pump out some great stuff, but I still think there needs to be a human in the process just to make sure it's very natural and isn't.
Okay, so you
Yeah.
use it for angles and more like ideating.
Yeah.
And then you personally write those angles into your frameworks and your processes.
Exactly. Yeah.
You've got awesome. Okay. So talk to me about, obviously we've known each other a while, and I think it's crazy cool to see you go from, Conan's under the wing right hand man, which is a great position and a great opportunity. I think lots of people should definitely push as hard as you did to be under someone's wing like that, because
Yeah.
you've learned a lot from Conan. Then you've grown the agency. Obviously, we've had a lot of conversations and you've grown the agency significantly. Is there anything in particular that you feel like has been beneficial from the conversations with Conan, the conversations with myself, the people you've been at events that has led to you being able to grow faster?
You guys operate very differently
Mm-hmm.
from a lot of the agency guys I speak to. It's actually, I feel like you guys, I think most people are just, this is going to sound bad. I feel like most people are just winging it.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of these people are making great money, by the way. So, like, that kind of just shows, like, how good of a time we're in. Like, you can basically just wing it and make, like, a bunch of money.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, with you guys specifically, like I was speaking to agency owners this whole event. They're like, dude, I'm stuck for the last 6 months. It's like, bro, you can figure this out just sitting down. Like, what are you even doing?
Mm-hmm.
Versus, like, with you and, like, you guys are constantly pushing. And like there's a like you guys like you can just by being around you guys are very serious
Mm-hmm.
about like you take the agency a lot more seriously compared to like other people I interact with.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the number one thing I hope that's not too vague, but that's like the number one thing I picked up from you guys where it's just like genuinely care.
I think that's a key thing that, I've even said when we've spoke at events before, is that most people get into the agency game, perhaps including yourself, as a
Yeah.
bedroom agency because they want to start making some money, but they quickly forget that the online space, it's fruitful, you can make good money, it's interesting, it's exciting, it's almost like a bit of a video game. It kind
Yeah.
of feels not real, but at the end of the day, it is still a business, and a lot of people don't treat the agency like a business. They just treat it like this thing they can make money from.
Exactly.
And the second you make that switch to being like, this is a business, I need to have systems, I need to have operations, I need to push hard because I've got people and families to feed on
Yeah.
the other side. It's a lot easier when you, like you said, you take it more seriously and you
Yeah.
have to look at it for what it is. It's a business and it's a good cash flow business. But most people are probably operating at like 10% of their potential
Yeah.
because they're not operating from that lens of like, how do I get this to $1 million a month, 500K a month, 300K a month? They're like, I'm cool at 10, 20 grand a month. I'm making good money.
Yeah, it's like,
paying
dude,
for my
what
stuff.
like what are you like I've never been that way. Like I never wanted like I don't care. Like I know a lot of people start their agencies out of lifestyle.
Mm.
Honestly, cringe when I see these guys like buying Lambos and
Mhm.
stuff. Like I think that's kind of an edge we had. Like I started this because I know next 40, 50 years I want to build something big. Otherwise I'm gonna get bored. And this is purely just like a stepping stone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think a lot of agency owners right now need to go from freelancer mentality to like being an actual business owner, which is extremely difficult because like you're gonna take a huge margin hit, like you know
Mhm.
this, and like they're gonna have to dial back the crazy lifestyle.
Mhm.
But like it needs to happen if they want to keep growing.
And also, when you build stuff mostly for lifestyle, they have a quicker, they call it like end life. Like
Oh.
everything you do is always going to have a date where it's going to die.
Yeah.
And you're just pushing to squeeze the most out of that before that date where it dies. At some point, the way we operate our marketing agencies probably isn't going to be a thing because of AI and all this crazy stuff. So we have an end life at some point. We're either going to have to adapt or we're just going to have to squeeze the juice. I think when you build these lifestyle businesses, the lifespan of how much juice you can squeeze
Oh yeah.
gets crushed so much more because you're not building it, going back to what you mentioned, you're not building it in a way that has sales assets, marketing assets, that positions you guys as the authority,
Yeah.
that positions you professional, so that people do trust you and keep coming back.
Yeah, and I think that's more important than ever in this time. So like you mentioned AI taking over. Like that's I think today Claude and Anthropic like they just dropped a bunch of like new models and people are like losing their crap. I think most of it is just bullshit fear,
Mhm.
whatever. Like most people can't even use a CRM right now. but like whatever. But I think like the second you make it a lifestyle business, you're gonna hit a cap on your learning.
Mhm.
If AI does take over the space, you have no options versus like me and you, like because we're constantly scaling the agencies, like we're becoming better operators, we're learning leadership, we're getting better at marketing, like
Right.
we're just being better, like becoming better people. Like me and you are going to be able to start like even if our agencies went under,
Mhm.
like the amount of businesses we're going to be able to start after this and just crush it is like it's unlimited job security forever.
100%.
So yeah.
I think that's a good note to end it on. Is there anything else that you feel like is worth mentioning that you want to leave some of the listeners with that perhaps got all the way to the end?
Not sure. Um, I guess like I feel like most people listening to this will be agency owners.
Hmm.
So I guess my main message is you told me this. You know what you need to be doing. You just need to flip and do it. Like just
Sure.
stop being lazy.
That's a good one to end
There
on.
it is. Yeah.
I appreciate it, man.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
you coming in.